We all went shopping together in New York, and Bresha was like, I need to level up. I need to like be a grown-up. I need more grown-up clothes. And she tried on all the things and got some beautiful clothes.
Fabulous outfits.
Thank you, guys. I feel really happy about my purchase.
Welcome, Andrea, Amber, Corbin, and Bresha. It's so great to see you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Yay.
I am extraordinarily thrilled to talk about Run the World, my current TV obsession.
At this point, we've known each other longer than we've not known each other.
Another round?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to take that in stages.
Nobody ever talks about what it feels like when you're falling.
What makes you think the next time you jump, you're gonna fall instead of fly?
I am a woman phenomenally.
It seems to be Black Twitter approved, so I think we're good.
Corbin texted all of us last night and was like, I'm so here for the Black Twitter. They love us.
I love
Yes.
Black Twitter. I got to know them during How to Get Away. They're the best.
They are the
I'm
best.
happy they love us because when they don't, oh God.
They
oh
let
God.
you know. They do. They let you know for sure. I know myself and so many others have been waiting for a show like this. Okay, enough of the reboots. Let's get something fresh. Let's get something new for this generation. And I know I've seen a lot of comparisons between like Living Single and Sex and the City and Girlfriends, but I want to know, and Corbin, I guess I'll start with you. What makes Run the World different from all of the other series it's been compared to?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think Amber said this, and it was like so perfect. It was like you have Black women behind the camera telling the story of Black women in front of the camera. And first and foremost, I mean, when I auditioned for this, that's what struck me is these two Black women in the room. I was like, like I almost fell. I mean, like I knew, but when you see it, it's different because it just never happens. And because of that, there's a very clear, very accurate, we keep using this word, authentic, honest depiction of these women that you can't get. There are just too many subtle nuances. And that's why I think so many people on Twitter, et cetera, are being like, I feel seen. Like, this is me. This is my friends. This is my family. So that's the different thing.
Yes. And it's funny because you think, what's different about this show? I can't quite put my finger on it, but it really is who's behind the scenes, writing those scripts and everything and directing the scenes. It's incredible. And Amber, congratulations on your second bundle of joy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, your character, Whitney, is so totally different from all the other characters that you've played in television. What was that transition like for you?
Oh, it was exciting. You know, I read this script originally not knowing which character I could be, you know, and I really related to all four of them, but clearly I'm the most like Whitney, and I really am in real life like that. I was excited for the content of the show to be more adult too. From everything else I've done in the past has been, you know, very network TV and through a filter, and this is the most like honest, authentic character that I've ever been able to play. I love that she's you know, a hyper ambitious, driven, focused, has everything on paper that everyone would ever want, and yet still is unsatisfied and scared and making huge mistakes. So I just like that she was like a flawed person and that the show's just so funny. I was just excited to be a part of something like that, telling a story like that.
That's amazing. Well, you're doing an incredible job. I love Whitney, so
Thank you.
I'm enjoying it a lot. And Andrea, I understand that you've been intrigued by acting since childhood. You actually lived in Harlem for a bit. Is that coming like full circle for you? How did that feel?
Oh yeah, I decided when I was like 9 or 10 years old that I was moving to New York City, and Harlem was where I wanted to live. And I talked about it in some other interviews, how I used to do, you know, research papers on, you know, Harlem and the Harlem Renaissance. And I was just so taken by the culture and the fact that, you know, what I considered was the greatest city in the world, you know, New York City and Manhattan specifically had this, you know, beautifully Black, you know, historical neighborhood called Harlem, where all of this incredible culture came out of it. I mean, I grew up watching movies that featured, you know, the Cotton Club, for instance, and I loved watching Showtime at the Apollo, which is on 125th Street. And I just had to live there. And so to get to come back and be on the show and be a part of a cast that is centered in Harlem and having this really beautiful Harlem experience. It really is a dream come true, because the whole time that I lived in Harlem, all I wanted was to work in New York. I had to move across the country to get a job in New York, but it's okay. We're here.
Isn't that funny? Like, let me move to LA so I can get a job in Harlem.
Exactly.
Amazing. And I know you grew up watching TV with your family, and it's like one of your guys' favorite pastimes.
Oh, goodness. I mean, of course, I love living single. I grew up on, the family we would watch. We would watch Martin and In Living Color, Family Matters. New York Undercover was a big one in my family. Even Oz, which is like a whole other side of the pendulum. It's like really dark. But my mom was a corrections officer. She worked for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 10 years, and she worked maximum security in both the men's and women's units. And so that's one of the reasons I watched that. But it was also, a very diverse show, very dark content, but very diverse, lots of Black people. And so it was something that my mom wanted to watch because it was a connection that she had. And, I also have a lot of experience with, incarceration within my own family. And so it really was close to home. So I love to revisit shows like that to remind me of like what it was like growing up and enjoying Black content with my family, because I feel like after like 99, 2000, there was like a steep drop off of Black television programming. And so that's just sort of what I call back to. But now we have Run the World.
And now we have Run the World. I completely agree. There was definitely a drop off, and I was like, what's happening here? But we're getting back. All that matters is that uptick.
And of course, there's so many other shows. I mean, we have Insecure, and we have, Harlem coming out, and we have, the Power franchise. I mean, there are so many other great things, but, we're talking about us.
Oh, right. We're talking about Run the World. We're talking about the ladies. Okay. And Bresha, I need to talk about phenomenal womaning for a second. Okay. I think when somebody tries me next time, that's what I'm going to say. I am a phenomenal woman. Okay. That is me.
Yes, you got to remind yourself, honey.
And your character, Renee, was described as a chihuahua in heels, which you say matched your personality to a T. Is there anything unexpected that you learned about yourself while playing Renee?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more Renee in my life and my real life. Renee is unapologetically herself and selfish. And, selfish is always looked at, and I love this show because all the characters are selfish in their own way, but it's not a negative connotation. It's like, I love myself. I'm doing what's best for me. And she operates in that way. And, she sets boundaries. She knows what she wants. And even if it's like to a deficit, even if it's at a default, she's like, this is what I wanted. This is what I got. Even if it slaps me in the face, literally, at least I did it, she jumps into things and she apologizes later. She says what she means. She means what she says, apologizes maybe if you can on the right day.
Right.
So yeah, there's some things about Renee that I'm definitely trying to incorporate into my real life. Also the fashion.
Yes.
Kind of thrown away everything in my closet and just trying to give more Renee.
Yes, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Yes, I feel it. I
mean, I'm already like a very fashionista, but I mean, there's just some grown up situations that she has in her closet that I'm like, girl, get it together, throw it all away and restock.
Right.
She's not joking. In New York, that's what we did. We all went shopping together in New York, and Bresha was like, I need to level up. I'm ready to be a grown up. I need more grown up clothes. And she tried on all the things and got some beautiful clothes.
Fabulous outfits.
We need that.
Thank you guys. I feel really happy about my purse.
Good, you should, because they're gorgeous.
And speaking of fashion, I love the fashion in the show, and I would expect nothing less because you guys have an amazing costume designer. What is one thing in you guys' purse that you recommend every woman have in case of a fashion emergency? Bresha, I'll just start with you.
We should always have double-sided stick tape. Yes. I mean, Corbin, did I or did I not come through?
I was just going to say, you did come through. We were getting ready for the New York premiere, and I was like, does anybody have boob tape? I was wearing this suit that no shirt underneath that went down. And Bresha was like, called me, was like, girl, are you okay? And I was like, no, I need boob tape. I don't want my nipples coming out. And she was like, down to my room. I got you. And she had the tape. She was ready.
Right? That's it. That's what you need.
Yes. And Corbin, I know you have experience directing and writing as well. Could you talk a little bit about the importance of having that Black representation behind the camera?
Yeah. Before this, I started to dabble in it. I started to shadow directors. I got to shadow Millicent Shelton on 911, which was amazing. She's such a badass. Just like watching her direct our pilot episode, but then watching her direct 911, which is, predominantly directed by white men because it's an action show. She is incredible. And she's been doing this for so long. She's directed over 150 episodes of television. It's like she knows what she's doing. And just to watch her move in that space is so inspiring. I wrote a short film called Blindside. It's like a psychological thriller that went and I did the film circuit, and I've written some screenplays and pilots and stuff. And when this came across my desk, I'd actually written a pilot that had a Black female-centered character in Minneapolis that grew up in a predominantly white community. And the idea is that she's wearing an invisible muzzle her entire life, and then it gets taken away magically. And now all she's cursed to only tell the truth. So it was just fun to be working on something that I was writing because I wanted to have an authentic Black voice, and then have this script come across my desk. I was like, well, this is better than anything I wrote, first of all. But second of all, it's just I felt like I manifested it, and being empowered to do it myself and watching other Black women do it. I can't wait to do more of it. I realize more than ever how important it is, and how desolate it still is in that space. I know some of us are still getting opportunities. I keep saying I want Regina King's career because she's winning Oscar, Emmys and Golden Globes for being on in both places. And it's inspiring because it means the industry is asking for it and it's changing, but there's still room. And
hey girl.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been prepping silently.
That is absolutely amazing. You guys are awesome. I want to wrap by playing a little game. I'm going to kind of throw out some who's most likely to do what. And this is not your character, but just you guys in real life. And tell me who is most likely to do what. Okay? Okay. Who takes the longest to get ready?
Bresha.
Unison. I love it.
Because I got a little bit of that ADD, and I'm one of them things ooh, a butterfly. It's a lot of things that capture my attention, but yeah, I do take a
It's
while.
okay. It's all good. Whose music is the loudest in their dressing room?
Corbin.
Really?
Corbin is the one that the Bluetooth speaker into the makeup trailer. And it's just everything from Cardi B to show tunes to old school girl groups like SWV. That's Corbin all the way, in my opinion.
And singing.
And singing. I was going to say it's probably me.
Amber too.
It's Corbin.
Who is most likely to have the most snacks in her purse?
Andrea.
No, Andrea. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Snack. She is always ready. She'd always be like, do you want my special snack?
She was trying to give us some mushroom tea, coffee.
Everything.
Got some dried fruit. I have some.
The dried fruit, the dry mango.
Those are
dried mango I've ever had in my life.
Those were good.
I literally
have on the vegan
lunchbox that I bring everywhere with me on set. Everywhere, it's my purple lunchbox with me.
That's smart. That's very smart. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I had such a great time. Thank you for hanging out with me today.
Of course. Thank you.
Am I in a state?
Right now or generally?
I mean, are Black women in a state?
Well, I'm trying to be in a state of relaxation, and you're killing my vibe.
At this point, we've known each other longer than we've not known each other.
Another round?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to take that in stages.
You hit the birth jackpot when you were born a Black woman.
Hallelujah.
Anyone who has ever stood on the precipice of world domination has felt fear. Fear is good. Fear is fuel.
Ola is literally the first and only person that I have ever been with. I've experienced so little.
As your friend, your soon-to-be divorced friend, I get it. I know we agreed to keep it civil, but we both can't keep living here.
Sometimes you look up and life is different.
Well, I've been with
My thesis advisor, which could get him fired and me thrown out of school. Reinvention, that's the game. This weekend, I am a black girl gone wild, and I will do anything I want. Anything.
I am just trying to blow off some steam. So if you could just let me.
Sometimes you just gotta jump off the cliff.
Nobody ever talks about what it feels like when you're falling.
What makes you think the next time you jump, you're gonna fall instead of fly?